Hi there. So, my article on the legendary Porsche Carrera GT was published earlier this month in the Club for Man online magazine, and I'm very excited. It took a couple months to get up there, and I saw it was published a couple days ago. So, I'm thrilled. And I thought, just as I have for some previous articles, I would do an audio article for this one as well. And as we go through this, I'll leave the address right over here for you to go to read the article online on clubforman.com, something I encourage you to do because the website has some incredible articles on all things cool, really. I'll also include a link in the description and in the comments so you can very easily get to this article and to the Club for Man website. It's a fair bit cold and wet outside, so I am filming inside today. Let's get into it. Porsche Carrera GT, legendary supercar with enduring appeal. Porsche Carrera GT proves timeless with V10 Symphony, Nürburgring speed, and old school soul that defines true supercar greatness. By Tuhin Gupta, and read on a MacBook today. Porsche Carrera GT, an introduction to a legend. Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, the three-headed dragon of the automotive world. However, there is another pokey little company that has been dominating in endurance and GT3 racing for decades. Porsche. And back in 2000, they unveiled the concept for what would become, in my mind, one of the top three best looking and best sounding supercars ever made, the Porsche Carrera GT. It's summer 2004, and I get a nice surprise from my father, the June 2004 issue of Car and Driver. In my head, the Enzo is the coolest car the world has ever seen, and the one I constantly want to drive and bond with. And then the front cover of the magazine creates a massive conflict of emotions inside me. Look at that not so subtle styling, the tasteful F1 derived V10. Oh my goodness, it even has a 6-speed manual. So, while it did not necessarily dethrone the Enzo as my favorite supercar, the Porsche Carrera GT managed to create its own space, one where I could not decide which one I'd rather have. Much like Joey and Friends, who could not decide whether he liked food or sex more, I wanted a Ferrari Carrera GT. Porsche Carrera GT, design, legacy, and engineering. Although cool as it may be, the name is a curious one. The Porsche Carrera GT is neither a Carrera nor a GT. They say nothing is perfect, so here's the one flaw with this car for the anti-German crowd. Fret not, it is undoubtedly a Porsche. Highly engaging, precisely engineered, and timeless in design, it proves just that. Though we have the 918 to thank for making the Carrera GT appear relatively dated, to this day it looks fresh enough to pass as a brand new model when viewed in a vacuum. While Porsche's extensive lineup of models and submodels can dilute the brand, especially when compared to the likes of Ferrari, which maintains a handful of distinct models with no greater than or lesser than trims, their supercars and hypercars, such as the Turbo S, GT2 RS, and Porsche Carrera GT, are exceptionally executed. Porsche Carrera GT, Nürburgring feat and future proofing. The Porsche Carrera GT was in the news recently only for positive reasons, and that's all that needs to be implied or touched upon. It beat its own lap time at the Nürburgring by 16 seconds. It's already quick, 7 minutes and 28 seconds, dropped down to a 7-minute and 12-second time. The modifications? Modern tires. That's it. And what's exceptionally wonderful about the Carrera GT is Porsche's commitment to keeping them on the road and, yes, improving them. Beyond special maintenance programs and registries, Porsche worked closely with Michelin to develop the aforementioned tires. They are now considered the OEM tires for the car, a testament to Porsche's continued dedication to the car about 20 years later. Supercars today are armed with enormous wings, batteries, near 4,000-pound curb weights, stop-start systems, and all sorts of extras that only serve to complicate and dilute the experience. And all for what? 10 to 20 seconds around the Nürburgring at best? The focus of supercar ownership is more macro than cutting tenths like in F1. A beautiful engine, a light chassis, and elegant styling make for the ideal supercar, a philosophy that peaked in the 2000s and 2010s thanks to advancements in engineering and strong passion from companies as a whole. This has been lost with the scourge of hybridization. These traditional philosophies have ensured the Porsche Carrera GT keeps up with some of today's best and retains its legendary status for eternity. Porsche Carrera GT, why it still makes gearheads drool. I'll end this with my favorite nifty little thing about the Porsche Carrera GT, perhaps the most German thing you can do. Ever notice how the center lock nuts on the left side are red and those on the right are blue? Why is that? The idea is simple. In racing, you want your wheels and nuts to travel in opposite directions, so in theory, the motion of the wheels does not loosen the nuts. It's a concept derived from physics and safety and ends up being just something cool to marvel at that generates dopamine in that racer part of my brain. The Porsche Carrera GT is the epitome of why gearheads, drivers, and engineers fall in love with supercars. So thank you for listening to my audio rendition of the article I wrote for clubforman.com. Let me know what you think about the Porsche Carrera GT and whether or not you think it's the greatest supercar that Porsche has ever made and ever will make, given this environment of regulations and hybridization. So until next time.